Hello friends, and welcome to today's video. Okay, hello. So this is like my voice is starting to go out because I've recorded this so many times because of technical difficulties. So I'm gonna run through this as quickly as I physically can. As you can see, there is a thing behind me. It is a map of the world I'm building for the video you clicked on. I'm gonna go through each of the kingdoms and their history a little bit, and then I'm going to go into it more in the actual video where the speed paints are. So I'm going to start out with from which world I redid first to last. So first I redesigned the sea beasts. We're not going to go through this in this video. They deserve their own video because they're their own domain. The second kingdom I built was Pyrexia. They are filled with the devil people. Pyrexians, which is what I will call them for the rest of this video, are not native to Pyrexia. They're native to Sandbloom. They got banished due to their pyrokinetic abilities and being believed to be like witches and such. Over that last 500 years, because of this war, all the kings who have preceded the current one have wanted revenge and burned down naval ships or trade ships and such. But recently, the new king of Pyrexia has been more focused on trade. And now Pyrexia, instead of being known for being firebugs, they are known for being trade. They're known for their spices, and they're known for their really, really delicious seafood. Because they trade with the sea beasts. They're the only kingdom that does this. The next kingdom I redesigned was Sandbloom. The sovereign of Sandbloom was a child during these wars and remembers them. No Pyrexian is allowed in any Sandbloom major city or main kingdom at all. For the politicalness. For what Sandbloom is known for, they are known for their great agriculture. Elves have the natural ability to just from tending to things for things to grow slightly faster and stronger and last longer once being produced or picked. Like fruits and stuff, and animals grow bigger and stronger faster. So they are the agricultural hub of the world, despite being in a desert, because the elves' natural ability to grow things, plus high-tech irrigation, allows them to grow things. Their clothing and architecture is based off of vaguely ancient China and India. On the next kingdom. The next kingdom is Crystal Wind. I based them kind of off of Vikings. They are the Dwarven country. They mine. They used to pillage before they learned how to mine. They take their goods very seriously. A Crystal Wind sword would run, like if this was, we're gonna use US money, it would probably run you up $50,000 for one sword from Crystal Wind, and that'd be a simple sword because they take like 10 years to make and all this other stuff, and so most people don't have Crystal Wind forged goods. Most of it gets shipped to the next country I'm going to talk about, Emberfen. Emberfen is known for basically taking goods from Crystal Wind, producing it, like swords and armor and stuff, and shipping it out to everywhere else. They're also known for their really beautiful textiles due to a native sheep that has really fine wool that creates a really pretty they come in all these wild colors, and is known for making they're known for really pretty nice textiles and carpentry. They're basically just producers, and they're known for their trade. They're very established in their trade, in trading between countries and producing things and trading with others. They have the closest relationship with Pyrexia because they want their hands on those delicious spices. Okay, that is the world overview, and now I'm going to go more into depth in between each ruler. Okay. Hi. It's been so long. So this is the actual meat and potatoes. This is the actual speed paint for this video. The first kingdom I designed in, like, I guess order is the kingdom of Pyrexia. Pyrexians, again, I said they were cast out, but they are known particularly very, very welly now in the last about 50 years for their spices. Now, this is the new king who is very much an emphasis on we are going to trade and we are going to build our reputation as a people. He is kind of young. Phyrexians live for about 300 years, and he is about 50, 60. So he still looks quite young, maybe like a guy in his like 30s, but he is like 50 or 60 years old. So that's, yeah. For him, I tried to make him look, so for the religions everywhere, they believe covering their parts of their face for rulers is being closer to godliness. Pyrexians, if you have two tails, you're of royal lineage. And the Ignis, I believe is how I pronounce it, their god is known for their cloven hoof and their travel ability. So their sandals on every ruler in Pyrexia has been like some sort of homage to the cloven hooved god. They wear a lot of drapery. Their culture, their like dress is and architecture, I can speak, is based a lot on Greek. I thought the imagery of the Badlands, I know it's also in Minecraft, but if you look it up, it's really pretty. Plus Greek architecture would look really cool. And so that is what I did. So a lot of it's drapery. A lot of it is drapery though to protect from the sun. And I have like a whole thing for this, but I'm not going to show you guys because it has information. Anyway, but for the ruler he has a cape to protect from the sun, even though it doesn't really go out in the sun, and then he wears black. Kind of again an homage to this god, but also because black and orange looks really good together. And he is going to be orange. For his horns, his name is Paparana, King Paparacta. The other thing, he has these big horns, a sign of a leisurely life for Pyrexians, because their horns don't break, have to be broken off, or be broken off naturally from hard labor, or fighting. Another thing that Pyrexians do that isn't related to Greece in any sort of way, because I wanted them to also have their own. I'm just taking inspiration from other cultures of our world. Is I took body painting as something they do, because I think it would be something really cool with like the drapery and the body painting, and then like the anyway. The main minerals they have access to is gold and rose quartz. That is what his crown and his jewels are made up of. For their colorations, the Pyrexians can only really be in so many different warm colors. They don't really come in blues or purples. I have a coloration chart made. Again, not gonna show you guys because story stuff, but just know, if you were to make a Pyrexian character, do not go cool colors, because they don't come in cool colors. That's an unnatural color for them, other than they can come in human skin colors. But I would consider those all like on the warmer brown spectrum, including like super pale skin tones. You're not going to see a blue Pyrexian or purple Pyrexian. That's what I mean by that. So for him, he has this crown, and then he uses his horns to actually hold up the part that's covering the lower half of his face to be closer to godliness. Every single ruler in Hypera does this. I will be doing a video on each god and designing them and what they do, but for now, just know that covering a part of the face is seen as closer to godliness for this world. Pyrexians are known really well for their, I think I said this earlier, their seafood, because the Badlands is kind of barren, so they had to go out to the sea to fish, and they're really famous for it because it's like the best seafood you'll ever get. And I'm just hungry. Sorry. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. I was like, "Oh, seafood! I want some seafood. I'm hungry." Sorry about that. That was silly. On to the next ruler, which is the ruler of Sandbloom, and I am not escaping food even when I am hungry. So Sandbloom is the agricultural hub of the world. Despite being in a desert, the elves' natural ability to grow things allows them to essentially like surpass this being in the desert. So they use advanced irrigation and their like natural ability to grow things better and faster and stronger than everybody else to basically make Sandbloom this oasis. I based their outfits, their cultural wear, what they wear in their kingdom, off of Hanfu because it's really pretty, and there are people who pay attention to it, but it's all about kimono this, kimono that, and I was like, well, what about this? That's this cool shit. Anyway, so Hanfu is what I used as like their cultural wear. The sovereign, it wears something slightly different, a lot more less practical. The only ruler who wears practical clothing is Crystal Wind. So yeah, they wear this the sovereign wears this kind of impractical deal. Same thing with Pyrexia. The ruler of Sandbloom, because elves are so long-lived, actually was a child when the wars were going on and remembers, all of these things that were going on with Pyrexians and the fires, and remembers their people suffering. So they are the most hostile, I guess, to Pyrexians, and no Pyrexian is allowed within the kingdom or major cities in Sandbloom, or near their agriculture. They can be on Sandbloom, but they have to be in like a small village basically away from anybody important, so that nobody, in this ruler's eyes, nobody gets hurt. Or particularly no elves get hurt. They don't really care about Pyrexians, other than for their spices and their seafood. That is the only thing, because Sandbloom does have some spices, but nothing compares to Pyrexian spices, is what they're learning, what the world is learning right now. So they're happy to trade for spices, but not happy for any Pyrexians to really set foot on their land, as of now. This might change in the future, but as of probably for the foreseeable future, no Pyrexians are allowed in Sandbloom. I took one specific Hanfu kimono thing off of Pinterest because I thought it looked like something a queen of the sovereign of Sandbloom is non-binary but is more feminine, and that's where I got this whole dealy outfit from. But what I saw specifically was like a fantasy queen dress, I think, on Pinterest. So that's what I kind of did. I wanted them to look like, I also gave them a flower paint, like makeup on their face and heart-shaped lipstick. I thought it was cute. But that's where I got this from. It's semi-transparent, because I love semi-transparent clothing items. I think it's just badass. And so that is what I based their, or that's what their top is, when more like the common people would wear like actual like real like thick fabrics that are like not meant to just be like, ooh, pretty. I also imagine that the transparent spits would be like this almost pearlescent. for the almost pearlescent with rendered. When I do eventually one day render all of these, maybe I will add that any details. Right now, this is just like a base like line of what the elves they would look like, their outfits, their base colors. If you want to draw these guys, feel free. Just credit, obviously. Just want to add that in there. And the main, I wanted to add in the main. So every kingdom has access to gold. But the main ore they have other than gold are opals. And so the opal is an opal crown on top of the sovereign's head. They also covet flowers a lot and greenery and the blue water because it's obviously scarce there without their irrigation. So that is the colors they covet the most are the colors of the water and the colors of blooming, beautiful pink cactus flowers. So yeah, I really like the way they look, and I love the nose ring. It's just, I love the way they look. I love fantasy cultures that take from like real life cultures. It makes them seem a little bit more realistic because this is what sentient creatures would wear, you know? So I tried to take inspiration from different cultures for mine. Some a little bit more than others, obviously, but I tried to do that so they seemed more real. For the next one I did the King of Crystalwind. They are Dwarven people. Their god is less of perseverance, like the elven god. I forgot to mention that. Their god is all about perseverance. So I just realized I was talking to nobody. So Crystalwind, I was saying that they so their cultural what's on this outfit is rubies, emeralds, and aquamarines. They used to be pillagers. This is the most practical outfit out of all the rulers because the King of Crystalwind actually mines and forges his own things himself, and is again sold at a pretty steep price or kept within the ruling family. Their kind used to be, or not their kind, but dwarves used to be more like Viking pillagers before discovering the mines and their true purpose, or not true purpose, but like for their religion, their true purpose. Dwarves in any of these races can do anything they want, obviously, but that is what they find the most, I guess, comforting. And their ability is basically kind of like Toph from Avatar. They can see things through their feet, on the ground. I also made his colors kind of look his beard like Santa because I liked that. There's no other explanation. So for so when I was designing him, I was the least inspired because I wasn't really sure of their culture, their wear, other than I wanted to base it off of Vikings and cold, and that was it. So I that's all I did. I did look on Pinterest and I found some bear stuff, which is why he has the bear overlay. They are known for their, like I said, their minerals, their amazing forging abilities, and their Eri, which is an elk-like being or creature that they hunt and kill. And they will sell the Eri meat, which is highly prized across all of Hyphera because it's really delicious to eat. So the eye covering, because of their ability, isn't too bad, but they go through a whole ritual. And I'm probably going to change the crown a little bit to extend to be an eye covering. I wasn't really thinking about that. I just realized, oh no, I forgot the eye covering. I will probably add on more to what they are or what the crystal wind is over time. I was trying to design these really quickly to like make this a video by the end, so I was kind of uninspired. And if you can tell, I'm out of breath. I have recorded this like 7 times with technical errors every single time, and I'm hoping that there's no more technical errors. If not, I'm literally not uploading a video because I'm gonna be mad. So for the last but certainly not least out of all the kingdoms is Emberfem. They are the center of trade for all of Hyphera. They tend to take things, produce them 10 times better, and then ship them back out. So the new queen of Emberfem is her mother had been assassinated, and her father only had one heir, which was her, and he passed away of old age because the age difference between elves and humans are very great. Half elves in this world have shorter tails, shorter ears, and live to about 300 years. But they kind of age like a human until they hit maturity a little bit slower. But she's about 15. I based the Emberfem off of just classic medieval. That's always what they've been, is classic medieval. And I like, why break it if it ain't broken? You know, all that jazz. So what I decided to do, originally each kingdom's colors were as red for Pyrexia, yellow for Sand Bloom, green for Emberfem, and blue for Crystal Wind. And I've changed it: black for Pyrexia, green for Sand Bloom, red for Emberfen, and blue, dark blue for Crystal Wind. It's more based on their terrain for the map of what their colors are. So for Emberfem, she is wearing the kingdom's colors, which is red and orange. They also have access to gold and emeralds. They're mostly known for their textile production and their forging, because they make decent enough forges from Crystal Wind production and sell them for way cheaper, so that everyone can have access to swords and armor and not have to pay a heavy price for it. But they're mostly known for their textiles. So the queen obviously had to have some pretty complex textiles. I'm not very good at textile patterns, so forgive me. Their makeup is essentially just like white, like a white face, like literally like white face paint, and a eyeshadow and a red lip. The white face paint doesn't extend down; it's just the face. But it's just it's very much so done on purpose like that. They have a headdress that holds their face covering, and they cover their entire face because their god covers their entire face, or is faceless. They have a faceless god, is what I meant to say. So Emberfem rulers cover their whole face either with this transparent like mask that the queen is wearing, or what the previous king wore, which was essentially just a knight's helmet, but it was made out of gold and inlaid with emeralds and things from Crystal Wind and yada yada, to the public. I also gave, they are half, she is a half elf, elf. God, she is a half elf, so I, again, shorter ears, shorter tails. I also give her these brown highlights, and elves, one of the features they have is they have a lighter pupil than, Scalera, or not Scalera. Their pupil is lighter than the colored part of their eye. And half elves don't have this trait. Half elves also don't have the ability to naturally grow plants faster and stronger, or raise animals bigger and stronger, than humans. They lose that ability, but they keep the physical traits. A little bit of the physical traits, and they get a longer lifespan. It's like a debuff elf, almost. For this, like I said, it's just medieval inspired, and I made sure to add lots of patterning because they are known for their textiles. This one I really like, and I like to think of her as like up and coming as well, because even though Emberfemme is very much established, she is a new queen, and she has to figure out her place in this political spectrum, especially with people trying to take advantage of her being this younger ruler. She has to be defensive against that, and I like the idea of these politics a little bit. It's kind of fun. I wanted to thank you guys for watching this. I'm out of breath, to be completely honest, after recording this so much. I'm hoping this video ain't late. I'm sorry if it is. I really appreciate you guys for like sticking through my lateness. It's really nice, and I wanted to just thank you guys for sticking around, and watching through it all the way to the end. If you watched all the way to the end, comment who your favorite design is, and I'll always like and read it. But if you guys like this video, you should like and subscribe. If you are new to, obviously, if you've already subscribed, I have a Discord server, where you can get announcements on videos, and that's where I tend to announce if I'm late to uploading or not. So if you want to know, that is where you will find it. And all my links are in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.